Peace and blessings, and welcome to the Ice Turner Experience. It's something you can't define, you can only experience. Because when it's all said and done, there will always be more done than is actually said. You know, a lot of my material, I could say, well, all of my material is inspirational, motivational, and a build-up of man. You know, I want to show my brothers that, you know, you can actually achieve your goals and become the man that you can respect. You know, that is key, is to build yourself up to become a man that you can respect. Because you can't have value until you evaluate. And more importantly, reevaluate. These are the steps that I've taken, you know, in my process. You know, if you look at the song, I was just talking to PG, you know, about that, about the Most Def song. My only says, shine your light on the world. When you look at the word Umi in Islam, that means servant, energy, and mother wisdom. So that is really the left side of your consciousness, which is the intuition and the emotions. But when those two things are connected and in sync with each other, it develops emotional IQ. That's what being, you know, street smart is all about, just like the right side of your consciousness, which is processing, articulation, knowledge. Niggas ain't shit, cut off they dick, let them bleed once a month like a bitch. So you want to build yourself up in your inner man to have value, to think like a boss, and to move like a boss. Because the business of life is your business, because your life is a business. You have to look at it that way. You know, and what really separates me from, I would say, the rest of these guys is based on my way of thinking. And that's just, you know, being in leadership positions all my life. Dealing with pressure under fire and remaining cool, calm, and collected in that process. I'm talking about when you are feeling the flames and you want to scream and you want to react emotionally, but you check yourself. See, a man is governed by his inner law and his inner order. It's like Moses with the tablets, to the left and to the right. The left side of your consciousness, the right side of your consciousness. Something to ponder on. So you want to always think about your thoughts, because your thoughts are energy, just like your game plan. You know, the Ice Turner Experience is not just a one-man show. Although it appears in that form, but it's actually not. Excuse me. Should have had a drink of my water before I started speaking. But anyways, there's a lot of gifted young brothers that are, skilled in certain areas, and I'm incorporating them into the movement. I'm not about destroying people. I'm about building my brothers up. But, at the same time, I will check disrespect. Because a player in Mac position must always be respected. A man commands respect. A man that is masterly, able, and noble. Be on the lookout for them crooks down in the south. Po-pos on the lookout for niggas balling out. Because I understand the process of how everything works. Nothing was ever handed to me. In life, I've either taken it or I've taken my time. By the way, I was not begging. I never played office politics. I never had to pay for my respect. I never had to jockey. I never had to present a gimmick or gimmicks. I just stayed true and stayed down. Because one thing I know for certain, that the truth will always remain. Everything around you will change, but knowledge of self will always remain. You'll only be known by the problems you create and the problems you solve. And I remember back in my younger, more foolish, youthful, arrogant years, I created problems for myself that I had to pray to get out of, And it was those miracles, because miracles get you out of trouble, wisdom keeps you out of trouble. Just to realize I got to slow my roll. Boy, you gotta slow your roll. I got to slow my roll. I got to slow my roll. Oh, you know I wouldn't tell you nothing wrong. Now going back to what I was saying is to, be a man of value. But first you have to evaluate yourself to know your worth. Because if you know yourself and you know your worth, you create your boundaries. And not only do you create your boundaries, you make sure that those boundaries aren't crossed. You make sure that those boundaries aren't flexed on. You make sure that people do not even come close to the line, even in their thoughts. Bitches keep bitching, pimps keep pimping, strugglers keep struggling, simps keep your inner strength, hustlers keep hustling, or your inner adroitness or dexterity determines that factor, because the world will treat you the way you treat yourself. If daddy don't hustle, then baby don't eat. Been sucking up game ever since I was baby boo. Now I'm a man and I'ma do what I got to do. Your self-esteem is always going to show up in your conversation. I know that I'm wrong, but your self-worth is always going to show up in your energy and in how you breathe. And if you look at the movie The Underworld, you look at Victor Corvinus. Now, he was a vampire, like someone would tell a story, and he can basically tap into their blood. And what the blood is, basically, is the oxygen. And see everything past, present, and future. And see exactly where he's lying. Now, if you look at the blood, right, you look at the energy, it's the same thing. It's all oxygen. So you could tell the difference between someone that has fresh blood versus dry blood, you know? You could tell when a man's running on gas versus a man is running on light.